and you'll be in Venice before you know it. Crossing the lagoon, this is on a causeway that was constructed about 100 years ago. As our guide will be telling us, once we get into the city, we'll be taking a walking tour with Daniela. First, we got to get to the hotel. Fortunately, there's baggage porters available, so the bags go on the baggage barge. Now, if you're just traveling on your own and you've arrived in Venice, you don't have to hire the porters. You could bring your suitcase onto the boat, onto the Vaporetto. Along with you, you pay an extra couple of dollars for the suitcase on the boat, and that's a decent way to do it. But with a group, we always hire the portabagagli to bring the bags to the hotel directly for us, and we get on the Vaporetto, as you see here. It's the water bus of Venice. There's no roads in Venice, so you can't take a taxi unless it's a water taxi. But that's why we've come to Venice, to get away from the streets, to get away from the cars, and into the canals, take a boat ride, take a stroll, enjoy the beautiful palaces gliding by. We're going down the Grand Canal. You can sit indoors on the boat if you like, or you can stand outside and get a great view of all of these beautiful buildings. Palaces and churches and museums and private residences. This was the Turkish ambassador's home. There was a lot of different countries represented in Venice back in the old days, back in the 1200s, back in the 1300s, when Venice was the most important trading center of Europe. It was the crossroads of the Western world. Upon arrival, what's the first thing we'd like to do is have lunch. Yeah, morning train ride, so we're pretty hungry. It's midday, so we take you into a great spot here. This is the Rosticeria, right near the Rialto Bridge, and it's a quick lunch, it's delicious, and it's not expensive. We'll be doing a lot of walking in Venice, walking along, taking a stroll through the alleys. It's really the only way to get around in the city. We'll have several walking tours. We're going to devote the rest of this program, and we'll have a future program all about Venice. We'll take you on a gondola ride in a future program. And in today's show, we're going to take you on the beginning of a walking tour with Daniela, and we'll continue that tour in a later program. Getting down to the end of the show now, so we don't have a lot of time. We're just going to show you a few of the highlights of Venice. Oh, we've taken you here before with World Traveler, and we'll take you back again because it's one of the main cities in our European itinerary that we love to visit. It's got a magical charm that's completely unique. Salute! Ah, Lambrusco! Molto bene! Ciao! You'll find that people are really friendly here and they're really enjoying themselves. Just walking around is one of the great pleasures of Venice. The buildings and the canals and the bridges are so beautiful. Go down this little alleyway and you come upon a spiral staircase. It's an exterior spiral staircase added on to an ancient palace. This was built back in the early 1500s. It's part of the Palazzo Contarini del Bovolo, and it's commonly called the Snail Staircase, Scala del Bovolo, because its spiral shape resembles a little snail that's found in Venice. This beautiful stairway makes 6 complete turns as it goes up 6 stories. And at the top you reach Belvedere that has a nice view looking out over the city. So it's a great experience. It's a fun, whimsical staircase to go climbing up. Just have to watch your footing and don't trip or stumble along the way. And then when you get to the top, you'll be rewarded with a nice view of the city. The staircase was added on to the palace after the palace itself was finished because the owners wanted to increase the size of the palace by adding some outdoor loggias, some outdoor arcaded balconies. And so this was built on in such a way to give them a view from the top and also expand the space of their residence. As you can tell, it's one of the highest towers in the city, so you get a nice view of the rooftops, the beautiful clay tile rooftops of Venice from the Snail Staircase. which in itself makes it worth climbing. But the main attraction is just the stairs themselves. They are just so whimsical, the way they're designed, the way they're built. It's a staircase built for fun. You wouldn't want to take an elevator if you could possibly take a spiral staircase like this. It has an airy quality, and the construction appears to reproduce the classical Byzantine stairway tower in the style of the period, but it's also said to be Renaissance in its columns and Gothic in its method of construction, and half Venetian, Byzantine, half Renaissance in its form. It's a wild mixture of styles, designed by an architect by the name of Giovanni Conti, built in the early 1500s. The palace itself is now headquarters for a Venetian city foundation that oversees their educational works and some preservation works. So they're doing a very good job here preserving this tower.